Welcome back to BabyBumpVlog from freezing South Africa. It's the 2nd of September 2020 and yep, we're freezing. Yesterday wasn't your usual spring day with blossoms blooming and the sun shining. It was freezing, raining, but we had a beautiful full moon. So welcome spring, welcome summer. This is my favorite time of the year. And I always joke and tell people I have seasonal affective disorder because I'm really not a winter person. So welcome to BabyBumpVlog. Thank you for joining me. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below. And let's delve into today's topic, which is the 4th episode in the series, Homeless Mothers and Pregnant Homeless Women. This series has definitely taken its toll on me. Not only because I've spoken about my own personal experience of being homeless, but also because I am a person that feels for others. And with this cold, it is just something that has driven me more and more to find solutions, especially for those living in my community, which this is Pretoria, especially my smaller community in Pretoria. And that is one of the reasons why I didn't shoot last week, because I was researching various charity organizations and various shelters and looking for the right shelter to become involved with personally, but also looking to post on BabyBumpVlog's Instagram shelters that you might become involved in, not only with time and labor if you're in South Africa, but also with any other resource, money, food, clothing. So, I feel quite nauseous today, which is not a general thing for the second trimester. I feel nauseous because of what I've dealt with the last week with shelters. Let's go through 2 little episodes. Yesterday, Chris and I went on a drive because I've been Googling different shelters and finding ones that I feel could offer the best long-term outcome for a homeless mommy. And this one shelter says it's a 24-hour shelter. And they don't have a website, so I can't email them or anything, but they have photos, etc., banking details. So we go to this address, and there's just, it would seem, nothing. We stood there for a substantial amount of time, knocking, calling, and nobody opened. And it was just shocking because even the photos that are found on Google do not match that house or location. So that was a shocking discovery. And something else that was really horrible was that I'd been following this charity, this one specific charity, for about a year. And they seem to be doing fantastic work for the homeless. But I read that they have an emergency shelter, a 24-hour emergency shelter. And I contacted them more than 2 weeks ago, asking them to give me more information about how this emergency shelter works and what happens to the mommies and children after that period of time. And I didn't hear anything from them. And 2 days ago, when I started reaching out on more platforms, I got the most snooty, horrible reply from them. And granted, later the director of the organization did apologize to me. However, if front of house deals with people that way, I wouldn't be able to vouch for this specific charity. which I obviously am not going to be mentioning by name. I believe the best way forward and to enact positive change is to focus on what you want to change and not to focus on the problems. So that is what I'm going to be doing. And today we're going to be looking at what homeless mommies need, especially pregnant homeless women, what they need, what a good shelter offers, in my opinion, and also how you can help a homeless mom or a pregnant homeless woman, and you can help them to become involved with a shelter, because as we know, many of these women have dealt with abuse and have dealt with being ostracized by society. So because we know many of these women deal with these intense issues, and that the leading cause of homeless women is domestic abuse, we know that these women are very reluctant to go look for services and to engage with these services, especially mommies whose children have been taken away prior. Those homeless women that are currently moms and their children live on the street with them, or they are pregnant and homeless, they would definitely be reluctant to contact the authorities because they'd be scared that the only thing that they have left is taken away from them. And society can have their judgments on whether that is right or moral, but this is life and people have emotions, and I feel it's much better to teach. We should, as a society, my personal inclination and feeling is it's better to look at people than as ideologies. So when looking at why homeless mommies and homeless women don't reach out, we know that pregnancy is a very vulnerable time. So being homeless and pregnant is immensely difficult, and you have increased maternal death as a definite risk factor because of cold, because of violence, and because of substance abuse. We also know that homeless mommies, especially pregnant homeless women, deal with a lot of health complications during the pregnancy, but also afterwards, such as hypertension, hemorrhage, early labor. And it is pivotal that we think of how do we support homeless mommies and pregnant homeless women especially. So seeing as most of my audience are expecting mommies, we have something in common with pregnant homeless women, and that is that we are all expecting. We are all expecting a bundle of joy, and we are human. So even though homeless moms deal with a lot of other complicated and complex issues that we don't, we know that a lot of their needs are similar. For instance, they definitely need prenatal vitamins. They need shelter. They need healthy food. Healthy food has such a huge impact on not only your mood, but also the growth of your baby, on your physical health as well. We're looking at comfort levels, comfortable shoes, comfortable clothing that's not too tight around the belly. Also, nice clothing makes you feel worthy and beautiful. Apart from the practicality of it, we're looking at different medications that we take for granted, such as antacids, or even if it's herbal, ginger, and the preparation of boiling water with ginger and lemon. Homeless mommies need regular visits to the doctor or healthcare professional in order to do screening and tests. It's pivotal. I think one of the single most important things that any homeless person, but focusing now on pregnant homeless women and pregnant and homeless mommies need, is guidance. It feels like you're in a wormhole when you are homeless, because you just feel like your day consists of survival and you never have the time or the actual physical opportunity to think about your future, to think about where you are going. So guidance is pivotal. It's obvious that you need to eliminate toxins such as cigarettes, substances, alcohol, and we know why these factors are more difficult to eliminate when you are homeless. You need to change up many of your chores. For instance, walking around with a super heavy bag whilst being homeless is a no-no. Definitely regular and good exercise is important because it can change up your mood. It's good for your health. It keeps your weight in check. However, a lot of the exercise that homeless women are getting is not the exercise that a pregnant homeless mommy needs or any pregnant woman needs. It can induce labor. It's not good for you. It's not good for your back or for the baby. You need more water, and as we discussed in prior episodes, that's one of the biggest challenges for the homeless, is finding clean, fresh water. We know why water is important. It's one of the most important things that you need whilst you're pregnant. Healthy food that we take for granted, and why this is so important to mention is I've noticed that a lot of fast food places, their food is much cheaper than any of the healthier options that you find in shops. So many people say, why do people that receive government funding, or whatever you call it in your country, why do they eat this and this fast food? Well, it's because it's a third of the price of anything healthy in the shops. It's not because they are necessarily spiteful or lazy. It's truly because buying many sodas are a third of the price of the equal amount of water, for instance. Sunscreen is pivotal because we know that our skins are more sensitive during pregnancy. Hygiene, pivotal, so that you don't get infections such as Group B, Streptococcus, fifth disease, etc. And these can cause birth defects and serious complications for your baby and for the mommy. You need enough sleep and therapy. So these are vitally important, and it is definitely important that you educate yourself when it comes to a shelter that you want to support. Because looking at what shelters should be providing for the best long-term outcome, I came to the following, which I'm just going to read, because I don't know when this phone will cut out again. Career management and guidance, parenting workshops, dress for success workshops, domestic and violence counseling workshops, individual counseling, job skills training, like how to write a CV, interview skills, basic computer skills, other skills training, for example, baking classes, jewelry making, learning how to work with electrical devices, a course on how to be an entrepreneur, accommodation, psychosocial support, training for said job skills, 3 meals a day, monthly toiletries for mommy and baby, referrals to workplace, and further psychosocial support. Childcare facilities in order for mommy to focus on bettering herself and going for job interviews. So these are things that I think are absolutely pivotal for any shelter to be providing a homeless mommy, in order for somebody to truly break free out of the grasp of homelessness and not either go back to being homeless or go to something different that might be criminal, in order to offer a short-term quick fix solution. So how can you start? How can you start? Because we know mommies might not want to go to the shelter. I would say the easiest way is to educate yourself, find a shelter you believe in, speak to the people that work there, the social workers, etc. Fill up a handbag with sanitizer, wet wipes, bubble gum, a card with your number on it. You could even buy a very cheap phone and go and speak to a homeless woman and hear what her situation is. Hear what led to her becoming homeless and what the exact situation is that she is finding herself in. And then as she starts believing in you, you might receive a call. And when you do, take action. Thank you for joining me for BabyBumpVlog. This has been an intense series, and thank you for joining me on it. Our time is up. The phone is beeping. I gotta go. Bye.